think it was 10 days ago, roughly 10 days ago. Okay. This is something that I have been thinking about. And this is like, what's interesting is you guys have to realize that everything that I'm telling you, it's as if I'm 5 years ahead of you or 3 years ahead or 7 years ahead. And it's as if you could transport to the future and see what problems you're going to be facing and see what situations you're going to be facing and see what it's like to scale. So I like to look at my agency and the lessons that I'm learning, and not just in my agency, but in building this program. And I'm like, okay, this is the thing that I learned or I lost money on, whatever. Is it applicable? And can I share that with the group, and will it help them get a deal? And I want to share that today. 10 days ago, I was on a call. I was on a Zoom call with a pretty successful person from this group, making over $15,000 per month. Okay. This individual has been around for a minute, not a crazy amount of time, maybe a couple of years, maybe just over a year and a half, something like that, but already making $15,000 a month. And basically how the conversation went is I was kind of doing like a deep dive into their business. And I said, all right, I said, dude, the last time I talked to you, you were at like half of the revenue you're at today. And I was like, when did you jump? And he's like, well, the last couple months we increased by like $8,000. I was like, that's crazy, dude. That's significant. And I was like, how's your attrition? Are people canceling? Are they staying? Like, how does that look? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And so I was like, all right, that's really interesting. And I said, okay, so what's your plan going forward? Like, he told me what his goal was. It's a really big goal. He wants to get to like 50K a month by the end of the year. And I was like, you can still do that, but obviously we got to rework your map and we got to reconfigure how that's going to look. But I said, what's your plan now? And well, first of all, before that, I said, how did you do that? How did you double your revenue? What are the things that you were focusing on the last couple months that you weren't focusing on before? And he's like, well, I was doing this and I was doing this and I was doing this. And then I said, so what's your plan going forward? And he told me like 4 things. And those things were literally the opposite of what he'd done the last couple months. And I looked at him and I said, dude, let me ask you a question. These things that you just told me you're not doing anymore, those are the very things that you just told me helped you double your revenue. Like, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to make this like look too obvious, but why not just do what you've been doing? Because it looks like in the last, 60, 90 days, you've added $8,000. So why not go add another $8,000 and another and another and another? Or why not quadruple down and see if you can add $16,000 in 3 quarters? Or if you can do that in a month, if you can add 8,000 in a month, why not just focus on that? And he's like, yeah, you're right. All we have to do is look at the time when things were going well and it was working and go and do those things. Now, obviously things change and some stuff that we did then wasn't. Go and do all the things that you were doing. And then you could start to one by one go, I don't know if this one's serving me as much, but what I did and what a lot of you guys do is you have these killer months, going back to what I'm talking about us building your websites, is you have these killer months. And then the very next month, you stop prospecting, you stop doing due diligence, you stop doing Zoom calls, you stop doing all these things. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't grow. Well, it's because you stopped doing the thing that got you the result. So guys, that was for me like this aha moment this week of like, dude, you're so stupid, Nick. And should be very, very motivating for you guys is the fact that I am as stupid as I am sometimes, and I do some of the dumbest things, say some of the dumbest things, make bad decisions, and I make the amount of money that I make. You know what that goes to show you? A, anybody can do it, and B, if you focus on sales and getting good at getting people to give you credit cards, you're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to live a very good life, at least financially. Okay, you're going to have a lot of experiences. You're going to have a lot of options. That should motivate you because if Nick can do it, by golly, y'all can do it.